Hello, Bangalore Short Film Festival, and thanks a lot for this selection. I am Matías Boero, Spanish director of this short film called La Barba, The Beard. This is an intense psychological story that I started to develop before the pandemic. And I was thinking about an encounter, how it's supposed to be an encounter between a victim of torture in any kind of country that had suffered dictatorship and his torturer. So I was interested in deploying the psychological aspect of a person who has a trauma from the past and how he manages it when he faces his executor. I also wanted to place the story in a timeless and universal context and try to create an atmosphere or kind of nightmare of strange memories. And for me, it was also interesting to play with abstract concepts like guilt, vengeance, forgiveness, or conscience. The biggest challenge was finding the right actors, the right faces, and an ideal hairdresser barbershop for the context of the story. And obviously, COVID restriction and permits were obstacles that we had to manage with work and a lot of patience. One of the main challenges that we had to face meanwhile we were shooting was the time, because we didn't have a lot of time during that weekend. We didn't have a lot of hours. So our technical team had to be very flexible, precise, and fast. For that, we had to talk about before shooting to really all understand what we were doing. And also the actors, of course, because this is a very intense and psychological work for them. They had to be very prepared every time we shout action. It wasn't easy for them, but luckily we had time to rehearsal with them days before the shooting. So in that sense, I was a little bit, I didn't worry very much because we had a lot of work with them before shooting. But yes, I can say that the time was one of the most challenging things. There are not too many differences between what we shot and what I wrote at the time. No? The image and the acting were very precise. I was very sure what I wanted to do with my team. For me, it was very clear in my mind what I wanted to shoot. So I think the key thing was the communication. I communicate a lot with my technical and artistic team, so they could know exactly what I wanted, what was the spirit of the film, and what I wanted to explain with my image. So in that sense, we tried to follow what was in the script, what was in the storyboard, and they understood very well before we shoot. Why should the audience watch this film? Well, I think this movie has a very powerful message, and I think it can reach a very wide audience and very public from all over the countries. Due to the way it is done, the stage is a silent movie where the image photography and sound, music, and also the faces, the act of the actors is quite fundamental to really understand and to try to transmit a message, and also to try to share a kind of debate and reflection about what's going on in this world with forgiveness, with the vengeance. Well, as I say before, I think it's a very powerful and emotional story. What kind of message I can give to emerging filmmakers? Well, from my modest, humble opinion, I think you should really know what you want to tell, what you want to express, what you want to say to the world. You have to be very passionate, that's for sure. You have to be very persistent with your idea, and also try to communicate as best as you can with your team. So the rest of the team, which is this is a very team play. You cannot do cinema without the rest of your department, the rest of your team. If you transmit to the rest of the persons that you work with your same idea, the better you express yourself, the better you communicate, the better I think the movie can be done. So this is my advice, let's say, to the young filmmakers, from my modest opinion. Well, thank you very much again, Bangalore Film Festival. I hope you will enjoy this movie, and I hope you have a great festival. So, well, muchas gracias. Hasta pronto.